I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody
Welcome to BTS Hot Topic, your daily dose of what's hot, what's viral, and what's next. From K-pop to culture, we spot the trends so you don't miss a beat. When the world thought they had seen all of Taehyung and Jungkook's most tender moments, Taekook once again proved that their connection had no limits. It wasn't something planned or staged. It was real, raw, and quietly breathtaking. In a dimly lit room, soft laughter echoed. Two people sat close, their voices low, their eyes full of unspoken warmth. They seemed to forget the cameras around them, lost in a space that only the two of them could exist in. And then, it happened. A fleeting instant, but one that carried the weight of years. Jungkook looked at Taehyung in a way that only someone who truly knew his soul could. His gaze was deep, tender, almost reverent. Before anyone could react, they leaned closer, as if pulled by gravity itself. The space between them disappeared, replaced by something that felt like silence and music at once. Fans watching the scene froze. Some gasped, some cried, some covered their mouths in disbelief. It wasn't just another friendly gesture, it was a Taekook moment, one that transcended the screen and went straight into hearts. The question burned instantly across timelines. Was it a kiss, or just a trick of the camera? Theories flooded in, but one thing was undeniable. The emotions in their eyes were real. Jungkook smiled afterward, shyly, the corners of his lips trembling as if he couldn't contain what he felt. Taehyung laughed softly, that particular laugh he only ever had when he felt safe. Their chemistry has always been different. From the earliest BTS days, Taehyung and Jungkook seemed to speak in a language of glances and small touches, of silent comfort that didn't need translation. A hand on a shoulder, a lingering stare, a quiet grin exchanged across a room. All of it told a story only they understood. For those who have followed them through the years, this wasn't imagination. It was evolution. And just as the world buzzed with that tender moment, Taehyung shared something that melted hearts even more. In a recent interview, he confessed his dream, softly, sincerely, of becoming a father one day. His voice carried warmth as he said, "I want to be someone who can give deep love, who can make others feel safe. I want to build a warm home, like a place where love always returns." The simplicity of those words made them even more powerful. Armies everywhere replayed the clip, wondering, who did he have in mind when he said that? And naturally, every eye turned to Jungkook. Not long after, Jungkook was seen during a live broadcast, watching Taehyung's interview. His expression was unguarded, that same small smile followed by a quiet murmur, "Taehyung, he'll definitely be an amazing father." The internet exploded. But beyond the chaos, there was something so genuine in that moment. It was as if Jungkook had unknowingly revealed what was hidden between the lines, a quiet, undeniable affection. That night, the Taekook fandom was a sea of emotions. Clips of them flooded timelines, the smiles, the laughter, the gentle looks. Every tiny gesture suddenly carried new meaning. They communicated even without words. When Taehyung spoke on stage, Jungkook's eyes never left him. When Jungkook sang, Taehyung always turned toward him, as if drawn by instinct, as if their hearts beat in the same rhythm. A backstage staff member once mentioned seeing Taehyung after a concert, smiling shyly while saying, "I can't hide it anymore, it feels like everyone knows." And Jungkook, standing beside him, simply smiled, not denying, not explaining, just smiling, as if to say, "Let them know." It made fans realize that maybe this wasn't about secrecy anymore. Maybe it was about quiet protection, love guarded by understanding, not hidden by fear. Taekook's love, if it exists, feels like something that grew slowly, from friendship, from long nights and shared burdens, from laughter that turned into trust. It's the kind of love that doesn't start with fireworks, but with safety. Taehyung once said, "Jungkook is always there, even when I don't say it. He just knows." And sometime later, Jungkook responded in his own way, "Taehyung is like home. I can be myself when I'm with him." So when that kiss moment happened, fans didn't see surprise. They saw inevitability. As if years of unspoken feelings had finally found a small, beautiful escape. #Taekookis and #TaehyungFatherDreams began trending worldwide. Comments poured in like waves. "They look so happy. It's not acting. This is what love looks like." Even international media started covering it, describing how Taehyung and Jungkook's connection seemed to transcend friendship and defy labels. Perhaps they'll never confirm it. Perhaps they don't have to. Sometimes, love doesn't need words. It only needs a look, a quiet, knowing smile that tells the whole story. And through all the noise, one truth remains. They protect each other. They choose each other, even when the world is watching. As the lights faded that night and the music came to a stop, Jungkook still stood beside Taehyung. He looked at him softly, the kind of look that says everything without a sound. And in that stillness, everyone watching knew. This wasn't just performance. This was a story of two hearts bound by time, laughter, silence, and secrets. A story that doesn't need to be proven because it already lives in their eyes. And maybe, when Taehyung spoke about becoming a father and Jungkook smiled as he listened, they were imagining a future only the two of them could see. So, do you feel it too? Do you think that was the moment everything quietly unfolded? Share your thoughts, because Taekook's story isn't over yet. It's still being written, one heartbeat at a time.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing